Hey everybody, and welcome back to Amnesia: The Dark Descent. Last time was a lot. We explored this new area we emerged into out of the sewers called the Nave or Nav or some form of pronunciation of something. And we discovered a soon-to-be corpse on the wall named Agrippa, who is very talkative, as you can tell. And, I can't... Dude. Shut... Okay, thank you. I can't even concentrate with that guy talking. We opened up the doors to the choir and the transept. I actually looked in the right places that time. And collected all 6 pieces of an orb that we're going to use to try and access the Inner Sanctum through that door, through another room called the Chancel. It's a weird big room with a bunch of green torches, and it looks awesome. We'll be seeing it this video in case you missed last time. But also, in case you missed last time, fix it, watch it. What the hell are you doing? Anyway, I've collected all 6 orb pieces. However, as soon as I did that, Agrippa over there told me that his pupil, Johann Wehr, I assume that's how you pronounce his name, was trying to create a tonic that would free him. And now we're getting a choice of... Shadow's getting impatient with me. Now we're getting a choice of 2 endings, where we can either fix the orb, go in there right now, kill Alexander, or let Alexander go, but free... Or, sorry, I should probably say free Agrippa first, but also let Alexander go in the process. But I think I rewatched the video because I was editing it. I think he said, like, he'll pass the gate as well. He'll go through the portal. I thought it over in my head a lot. I was so torn between whether or not I should just go in, kill Alexander this video, or do the tonic. And I think I'm gonna make the tonic, because supposedly we don't know Daniel's true motives, detailed motives for killing Alexander. We can safely assume at this point, though, since we're basically right at the end of the game, he's killing them because of all the torture and the bad stuff that Alexander's made Daniel do. For basically nothing. And it hasn't stopped the shadow, clearly. It just screamed at us and turned our vision red just now. So yeah, clearly that didn't work. However, so basically Daniel's just trying to get rid of Alexander, but either way, Alexander is gotten rid of. Either we kill him, or he leaves himself. He achieves his goal, and he leaves never to disturb the world again. So you know what? There's no problem. There's no real problem with doing the second half. Because Alexander isn't coming back. His torture days are basically over. And even if we kill him for what he's done, so what? I could probably see his love in heaven anyway. Anyway, one important thing. Hang on. Is this a new... This better be a new dialogue box thing. It's not. Okay. So... one important thing is that, you know how last time I said, oh, I have the paralyzer, you know, this bucket of tart? That's not what the paralyzer is. Apparently, I wasn't paying attention to this note here, because it says that the paralyzer is the poisonous fungi. It should work as a paralyzer. You know that pile of fungi I passed in the choir going into the second torture room? I think I was supposed to get it from that, and I didn't. So you know what that means? I have to go back into the choir and get it. Which is something I hoped I would never have to say, because the choir was quite possibly one of the most stressful areas in the game. It's an open room with 1 brood in it, and that doesn't sound bad, but when you consider the fact that I briefly visited the wiki page to confirm my fears, the brutes are actually apparently slightly faster than you in a chase, so that's terrifying. The open area means nothing when... you know, they're faster. So, I don't know if he'll still be despawned. If he'll be despawned since I completed my objective in here, or if he'll still be there. But also, the note, which I just put away, says... I should then be able to extract its contents with the proper tools. Do I need the proper tools, or is he talking about hands? Because I got those. Or are those the proper tools? Because I just realized we kept the hammer and chipper. Tools for stone cutting and fungi cutting, apparently. So exactly what Agrippa said last time. I have to be careful when going through this inventory, because Agrippa said that if I repair the orb, then I cannot free him anymore. For some reason, I'm locked into the Kill Alexander ending, assuming that's how the endings work. So I have to be careful not to combine one, because seeing how the combining thing has been working so far, if I combine one with another, it's going to combine all 8 of them for me, so... Alright, it's time to go back into the choir. Hate to do this, but at least I know where to go. I don't know where the brute's gonna be, though. Are the weird red spots we've been seeing like the petals of the Damascus rose? That would make sense. Okay, let's sprint. Let's sprint. Why not? Faster we can get there, the better. Right? It was outside this room. Over here. The torture room that's over this way. Don't come back, brute. Don't come back. He's back there. He's back there. The problem is that he's back. Oh my god. Here it is. Tissues often should be possible to break open. Great. Use the only tool that's possible. Poison gland. Amazing. Hey, gland from a poisonous mushroom. So I got the thing. Root's gone. Use this chance to go. Use this chance to go. They do spawn the brood. Of course they would. Okay. Go back while we still have a chance. Don't spawn over there, please. Or over there. Spawn in behind me. Or don't spawn in at all, that works too. Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, Brute, for being so considerate. Alright. That... Jeez, that area. Oh my god. I never want to do that again. Alright, I have the poison gland. So that means, assuming I did this right, I should have... There could still be something in this room. I should have all 3 ingredients that I need for the tonic. Where to make it? I don't know. I think it's somewhere within the chancel, the big blue room. So first, let's try to combine stuff in our inventory. Let's see if we can do it here. Poison gland. Gonna add, substance needs to be purified first. So how do you purify? How do you extract the vitae? I assume that's what one of the rooms in the chancel is for. Like, there were 2 areas where it looks like you could place a thing. However, I'm also slightly afraid to enter the chancel again, because... Sorry about this, but... aside from my final major spoiler with this game, before I looked it up, is that there was in fact more than one ending. I knew that before playing. I just didn't know exactly how they would be done. But, I watched a clip of Amnesia, and... I watched a video of Amnesia yesterday, didn't expect anything spoilery, saw a clip of someone entering this room and having 2 grunts running at them. So, let's find out how this goes. I saw 1 grunt in here before, but that was like 2 grunts running straight at them as soon as they opened the door into the main room itself. Which is likely a trigger point for having collected all the things.
Who are you to question me?
I wonder who he's talking to. Pretty random. I didn't want to be here anyway. Oh my god! Sleep. I see, that felt like a forced death. Is that right? Hazel spent all summer in bed. He had used to read to her after helping father with his work. In his mind, he was like, Sherazad, and as long as he kept telling a story, she would not die.
You had me worried. Quite frankly, I'm not sure what to do with you. I hold no grudge against you, Daniel. We are so very much the same, you and I. Did you really drink from the amnesia mixture? It does explain so much of your behavior. You never did finish what you set out to do. You talked about redemption, how you would face the orb's shadow and save our work, and me. I will grant you another chance to redeem yourself. You can wait here and stop the shadow. Thank you, friend.
Yep. Stop in the shadow. Definitely. Okay. Sorry for not giving that a good look. If only I didn't know it was coming. God damn it. I'm seriously sorry about that. I mean, it would have been better if I got a full view of the grunt coming at me, but okay. So that was a forced death. It's a capture sequence. And now we are in a cell, and the cell door is locked. Find another way out. Well, yeah, this is usually how these go. There's always another way out, and we can push the bed, apparently. Awesome. Is there something hidden behind where the bed was? Is there something in this trash bin? Something in the ceiling. There was that ceiling hatch from last episode. Maybe they'll do that again? Any secret hatch in the floor, like the prison area? This? Oh, this. Okay. I was about to say, I saw some light here. The bricks are loose but can't be removed by hand. Not unless you believe in it hard enough. Okay, fine. I'll use the hammer and chipper on it. Hey, friend. Okay. Didn't quite expect that. So, Alexander has control over those monsters, and allow me to splurge a piece of information that I already know. So, you may know, in the past, I visited the wiki for Amnesia: The Dark Descent, just out of sheer curiosity. Never learned much about the game, and I forgot a lot of it since then, but I do know the monsters are the Gatherers. Remember back in episode 1, that very long note that had a bunch of exposition about stuff like Agrippa, funnily enough, Alexander, and the Gatherers. Some weird things in the forest? That's what the monsters are. The monsters are the Gatherers, and apparently Alexander has control over them, so maybe they're related to Alexander. Maybe they are the people who were tortured. Anyway, we're lucky that cell had an unlocked door. Thought I heard someone grunting in my ear. Fortunately, no. Note. There is little left to say. I write solely to prevent myself from revisiting the memories of these last few days. If I am fortunate, I will fall asleep and time will pass without effort. I have begun to wean myself of my prison. Wean? When I first arrived, I felt like I was being buried inside a tomb, but now I feel the close walls comforting me. As long as I am in here, there is no pain. The walls protect me from the outside. As long as I am in here, there is no pain. The walls protect me from the outside. I even laughed earlier as one of my wardens dropped a key down the pipes. That gave me hope for a second, thinking I could escape if only I could somehow reach it from here. In my dreams, Alexander, I am king. In my dreams, I best you and escape your clutches and return with all the knights of the realm carrying pistols and sabers. In my dreams. Wow. This guy went so crazy he turned into a novel writer. I don't know. Is that what it sounds like when you have a headache? Ah! Random corpse appeared out of nowhere. Awesome! What? What was that? Is there a tinderbox in here? Tinderbox in here. Hey, if I can splurge some information. I looked at the achievements today. Apparently, there's an achievement you get for making progress. There are achievements you get for just making progress in this game, like almost any other game on Steam. However, there was one, I'll pick up that bucket in a bit, I feel like it's gonna trigger something. There were a couple achievements for both riding the elevator down to the prison and emptying the cistern. Apparently, only 7.4% of players got the cistern achievement, and only 8.9% got to the elevator. So I guess everyone was just so scared of this game that many players stopped before it even got good. Well, that's too bad for them. They won't get to experience all this. Wooden bucket. Great. Can I upgrade to an iron bucket later? And a bottle of crap. A well. Okay. Let me guess. I attached the wooden bucket to this. First, let's check out these doors. What's in there? Very foggy hallway. It's locked. Find a key to open the door leading out of the area. I thought we were done with mementos telling us what to do. Alright. There we go. I wonder where we attach the bucket to. Can you guys give me the answer here? This is a Dora the Explorer moment. Alright, now do we lift it back up? Shut up, pipe in the wall. No one asked you anything. Bucket of water. Alright. Man, Amnesia, you're ripping off Minecraft. I can't let this stand. You evil game. Ripping off so many other amazing games. Okay, so where do I use the bucket of water? Okay. Stop it. Alright, I guess we just have a bucket of water. How interesting. Oh, okay. Found it. Key in the pipe, but it can't be reached. So, what do you suspect to do with it? The note was hinting me towards that, and I didn't remember. Rusty key. At least it's not a small key, like the Legend of Zelda games. They make you feel bad for picking up a key. You got a small key. It's only a small key. Nothing special. That seems bad. That doesn't... No? Are you serious? Go. Oh my god. Okay, I swear to god if you place like a grunt here. Oh hey, a pool of blood, exactly what I wanted. Or something. Oh my god, it's close. Get out of here. Get out of here. Get out of here. Whoa, oh god, I started to move backwards because I jumped and whirled around. Oh, please. Oh, we're back. Into the nave. When Hazel turned 15, she had lived 3 years longer than Dr. Tate had foreseen. Her parents had given up from exhaustion and decided to have her committed for permanent treatment at Canterbury Hospice, but she was still alive. She had embraced him and wished him a grand adventure in Algeria. Daniel had a family, and he neglected them. What's all this, then? I knew that those loading screen stories at the start of the game that mentioned Hazel involved Daniel. I just knew it. Shut up in there. I think he's mad that he was only used as a monster once. Assuming we're toward the end of the game, which... Yeah, I assume we are. He's really mad that he was only used as a monster once, and then he got, like, what, a freaking cameo in the cistern, and then stopped. Uh-oh. He's freaking out over paper again. You gotta find a way to solve these allergies, dude. Alexander became silent. He didn't know what to say. He could no longer recognize his friend sitting across the carriage.
August 1839. Tonight, we will unlock the power of the orb and ultimately banish the shadow hunting me. I feel it closing in on me, and I fear for my life more than ever. Just outside Olstad lays a small settlement where Zimmerman, a dairy farmer, lives with his wife and 3 children. We took the coach, went there. Our visit was unexpected, and Alexander was able to strike Zimmerman down without alerting the others. As he went to take care of the farmhands, I began to look for the children. We should have more than enough prisoners to finish the ritual now.
The crying had stopped, and he could hear a whisper coming from the cell. They were up to something, and he would have to punish them. Well, that completely confirms the fact that none of the prisoners really committed crimes. You know, that guy they were talking about last time set a man on fire, supposedly. I remember there was now a flashback in... I remember now there was a flashback in the dungeon, the prison, sorry. Talking about how, like, you don't go into burning houses. So it was an accident, and yet they said... Alexander says he set a man on fire, as if it was real. Alright, buddy, down there. Buddy of mine. Buddy pal friend. What's up? Can I pull you up? You need help? Oh, I pulled you down. Sorry. Hang on. Can you purify this for me? Should not risk putting this down the well. Not sure what the end result might be. Should not try to do this again. Cannot use this item this way. Should not risk putting this down the well. Well, what do we risk putting this down the well? It's giving us... This is our 3rd well. How many wells do we need? Oh, apparently I'm hurt. Let me use one of my 4 laudanums to heal. Alright, well... Can we use the lantern? Nope, okay. The lantern's our flashlight. It's an item you never remove from your inventory. I see. I see. We can just never part with this. Oh, we're having those same, like, slow, clunky, lopsided movement we had at the very start of the game. Good thing the shadow doesn't know how to open doors. Oh my god. That's the door that wouldn't budge, isn't it? That's where I climbed out of. Fun times. Well, why don't we try to go back into the freaking chancel again? Because that's the only place I know how to do anything. Oh god. Might not be able to... Yeah, okay. I guess you just can't avoid those hits. Which is fine. I mean, if the game automatically heals you, I have no problems with that. Other than it feels slightly bad, but even then, not much to complain about. Okay, Shadow has infested the Navy. Shadow has infested the Navy. Watch out, Navy people. Whatever they're called. Oh my god. Ow, 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 hey. You damaged me. You made me waste my laudanum laboratory. Oh, is this where I can make the tonic? Okay, looks like it. Tinderbox here. What's this? Blood needs to be purified before putting anything else into it. How do you purify it? Okay, well, we can do this. So let's do this, then. Blood needs to be purified before putting anything else into it. Should not proceed with the heating process till the container is placed properly. I only got so many of those. Okay, well. Can I take that back? Okay, well so that's what I'm supposed to do, it seems. This is where I purify it. Apparently. Alright, so is that how you extract vitae? You burn it, incomplete tonic. Can I turn this off? There we go. Yeah, don't cause an explosion in the middle of the castle. Still incomplete. Alright, I assume... Can't add ingredient as is, needs to be purified first. Oh, you purify this? Heating this up won't accomplish anything. Yes? Heating the land will not extract the poison. Oh, we need something to extract the freaking poison? Bucket of tar! What the hell do you use the bucket of tar for? Alright, this is where burning gland will not help extract the poison. This is where I then do a million things trying to figure out what to do. Is this something I can use? Yes. Okay. Should not squeeze the juice till a container is placed below. Man, this game just... it needs to make sure you follow all the rules exactly. Can't mess up a single time. Can't make a mistake. The game actually lets you make a mistake in, like, the first laboratory puzzle. You can always not put the chemistry pot down, and then you have to do everything again. It's kind of weird. At least I remember, if I remember correctly. I'm not sure. Veyer's tonic. Alright, now we've made the tonic. We can go give this to the dude, or we could just go straight for Alexander. I've already decided we're gonna give the tonic to him. Yeah, Shadow? You have an objection against that? Why don't you tell me? Tell me what your objection is.
I thought I'd lost you. The castle trembled and I could hear the chancel collapse. The laboratory might be accessible now.
You're a little late to the party, dude. Alright, you want this? Want this?
Quickly, off with the head. And then, whatever happens, get me through that gate.
Off with the head? The head? Off with the head? You mean decapitate you? Wait.
You're a good boy, Daniel. And I appreciate your compliment. But I believe you have more important
What is that?
to take care of.
There's so much happening right now, I don't understand. You mean decapitate you?
You should hurry, Daniel.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Hang on, what's this room over here? Oh, there's shadow stuff in it. Pop and hurt me. Go ahead, do it. I dare you. Coward. Alright. What's in here? Laudanum. 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 Laudanum that I'll have to use at this point. Oh yeah, friggin' use that. I've taken a lot of damage from the shadow stuff. Oh, okay. Okay, yeah. We are, in fact, decapitating him. This is weird, but hey... we're being chased around by the shadow that leaves red freaking blood fleshy things on the walls. Anything's possible at this point. Picked up Agrippa's head is a text I did not expect to see today. Alright. Is it back to the chancel for us? Or is it back to being attacked by the shadow for us? Why not both? Shadow, calm. I just need you to let me do this one thing first. All his life, he had thought that he was a good man. Terrible deeds were only committed by terrible people like Henry Bedloe, the bully in school, but now he had seen what he himself could do. Ah, Daniel got bullied by me, I guess. Me from the 18th century. Run past this. Don't... Just... No, let's just freaking run past it. There's a brute. There's a brute. He's over there. He's going in there. What's he doing? Okay. Well, he's going away from me, so I assume that's a good thing. Wow, this thing's being attacked by the shadow. There's a... Brute, what you doing over here? Should I be approaching this? I don't know. Okay, we're decent on health. Alright, the shadow can't pop and attack me from here. I heard him. I heard him. Well, we know where to run. So let's run over there! Let's run over there! As quick as possible! As quick as humanly possible! Oh my god, I got stuck a little bit and it scared me. Go, 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 go! Oh, okay. Alexander saw that the evening had taken a toll on his friend's mind and barred him from the Inner Sanctum. He could no longer be trusted as to be a part of the ritual. Where was he going? Kept playing the terror sound, so I was worried for a second that they could pass through loading zones. Well, let me wait here a bit before I go back in. I don't even know if he was right behind me. I didn't hear him, so he probably wasn't, but it's a brute, you never know. Let's go back in. The sight of her lifeless body crippled his psyche. He tried to remove himself from the scene, but he could not. Instead, he fell to his knees and begged her for forgiveness. Hazel? Good. He's not here. Gonna respawn again? No brute yet. Let's hope he's gone for good this time. The bridge over there collapsed. We can't go over there anymore. Well, we didn't need to. That was just a random corner, I guess. Let's go in here. Another note.
10th of August, 1839. I cannot believe what I have become. One of the girls escaped and I chased after her all the way upstairs. I hunted her down and... What is her life worth? How many lives can I take before I surrender my own? Sure, I would kill a murderer to save an innocent, but to kill an innocent to save myself? A cold-blooded murderer.
I've got very little else to say about those notes. They speak for themselves. The story of this game entirely just speaks for itself. I'll talk about it, at the end. What is the deal with this room? I didn't say touch the gears, I was saying inspect them! You stupid idiot, you deserve to be killed at this point. Don't touch the gear! What are you doing? Alright, what is this? Can I do anything here? Bucket of tar. Is this just for decoration? What is this room? I was interested in what it had at the start. Now I can confirm. It has nothing. So, that was a great time. Alright. It's time. For the moment everyone's been waiting for, including this very excited pulsating heart thing. Let's go. To what we heard of all the way back in episode 1, the freaking Inner Sanctum. Yeah, let's light that up. Ah, the shadow hasn't invested this room yet. Right, so I assume now it's safe to repair the orb. That is what the bucket of tar is for. I remember now. Way back in one of the earlier notes, he tried to fix it with tar. For appropriate workspace, where the tar can be applied. Sorry, pausing my thing for 1 second. Apparently, I need a crafting table. My bad. I was thinking it was gonna be a workbench. But I guess it didn't specify. Alright, well, I found it without a guide, and adhesive is necessary. Yep. I get it. Also, it shouldn't be necessary, though, because... Wait, okay. Is it... Okay, it's doing that for an effect. I thought it was, like, removing them out of my inventory. Restorer. How much of a tiny percentage of players got that achievement? I see. Okay, can't do anything with it. The orb does not by itself remove the barrier. Something must be done with the machinery. Touch it! Now, okay. A mystic barrier blocks the place. Oh. Is there something interactable now in that room? Aha, we have to pick up an item and lodge it in there. Alright, let's see. We can pick a smaller gear, a box. Try a box. Not strong enough, okay. How long has that been there? Alright, we've got this thing to try, which is probably not strong enough either. Oh, you can't pick those up. This also to try. You'll never see it coming? Yeah, Alexander won't see me coming. Not like he's been talking to me or anything. Whole game. Not large enough. Not strong enough. Well, what the hell? Game, you know... All the items that would work in there, the game doesn't allow me to pick up. Nice puzzle. Can I pick these up? No? There's just a bunch of things you can't pick up. Okay, this thing looks reinforced. And we're moving slow. Oh, we're moving slowly with it. It's heavy. So... confirming that that's the box. Yes, that's the box doing that. So... this has to be the answer. Sacrifice some health for some sanity. No. Do they put a brute here? Are you shitting me? Okay, we know the plan. He can't search over here. When he comes in here, we get up and we go. We can press shift and it will automatically uncrouch us, and then we make a dash for the Inner Sanctum. I should have known they'd do something like this. Alright. Either that, or he doesn't come in here and we wait for him to leave. That's unlikely. You know, he seems far away. I probably could have gone up in that room first, but now it's kind of too late. Did he spawn on all the way at the end of one of the catwalks? That's kind of funny if he did. Like... Where is he? Okay. Perhaps the scariest monster encounters are the ones where you don't know if there was even a monster to begin with. And you were not scared of anything that whole time. You're not supposed to be scared of anything that whole time. Let's go. As we can see up ahead, it is disabled. Well, if we disable the machinery, would the orb still have done something? Alright, it's time to go. Inner Sanctum. Let's go. He had turned angry. It was easy to take her insolence and make her the villain in this story, but she didn't deserve to die. Even he could see that. Okay, what is this? Oh wow, a note! That's the perfect thing to be doing right now.
August 1839. It's not fair. I'm not to blame. I've been manipulated by that demon. He played my guilty conscience and duped me into facing the shadow alone. That vile, conspiring man. He expects me to meet my death as he steals power beyond imagination. Alexander, I will kill you for what you have done. If only the shadow had caught me in London or Algeria, I wouldn't have to suffer this humiliation. You made me a murderer, a monster. And now, I merely await my death. I am too weak to press on. I can hardly stand as my knees fail me. I cannot see as my eyes are dressed in tears. I am as broken as the men I've tortured. If only I could wipe my fear away, as we did with them.
Well, that's great, but we have something else to deal with right now. Anything else in this room? Anything else? What? What was that? I don't know what I just did, but I took damage. Okay. I probably should have investigated a little. I thought I was being chased. What is this? I don't want to touch it again in case you get attacked again. Any tinderboxes down here? I don't know if they would put any down here, seeing as they probably don't do anything at this point. Door will not open. Heavy door is sealed shut. Search for a way to open it. I think I have an idea. I think I might have an idea. We have to give blood to both those things. Minor spoiler. I saw a quote about that on the wiki. I don't know why the wiki puts spoilers everywhere, but it does. What is this? What's the deal with this? Okay, I turned this room red. Something tells me that's a good thing. You know what? At this stage of the game, I wouldn't be surprised if it was. Now I stand on the other red thing, turn the other room red, and then the door opens. This is how ancient structures work. Did you know? I'm about to run out of sanity. I think I'm running out of sanity. I think I'm running out of sanity. No, I'm not. I barely didn't run out of sanity just then. Okay. Fantastic. Orb chamber. Okay. Is this the room? We got some sanity back, it sounds like.
I was wondering if you were going to show up. I see Agrippa convinced you to run some errands. Tell me, is everything nice and clear now? Am I the villain? Good and evil. Such comforting concepts, but hardly applicable. Are you so blind that you see no good in me or evil in Agrippa?
Pylon's unstable on the verge of falling over. Okay. Give it a good hard push. So what are you doing in here exactly? That's him though. Is this a boss fight? Am I supposed to be concentrating? Okay, well if the pylon is on the verge of falling over, why isn't it falling over? Okay. Yes, what do you want me to do here? Just keep doing it, just keep pushing until it does. It only pushes in this direction. So should I just keep... Is it pushing more? What am I supposed to be doing right now? Okay, anything I could pick up and toss? Nope. Maybe it's not letting me because it's actually... It sounds like he's completing his whatever he's doing here, his seance.
A whole other world.
Okay.
Isn't it beautiful? I can finally return home.
Yep, that's pretty cool, man.
But you, and Sonic,
Oh.
you won't be able to enter. You are still tainted, branded by the shadow. It will consume you.
Yeah, well, I kind of know that already. Achievement unlocked sacrifice.
Please, let me go! I'll never tell you!
Thank you, my friend. Your sacrifice won't be forgotten. You will be celebrated forever.
Like, how do you topple these? Do you just push on them forever? I don't know. How do you do this? Alright, he started his ritual. Do you, like, grab it as it's falling back down? Aha, okay. You know what? We're going for a freaking revenge ending first.
I realize you doubt my intentions. Why would I
Let's
take
go.
such extreme measures to save your life? Maybe I'm saving mine too.
Alright. I'm trying. Alright. Almost got it. There we go. You have... Sorry.
So close, I beg you.
You have to time it very well. You have to, like...
Just like you, Daniel.
Will you shut up?
Prisoner of circumstance, trapped in a world I no longer recognize.
So you have to, like, left click, right click, as it's falling back down. You can't let it stand back up.
Killed us! You killed us both!
There we go.
It was my greatest triumph, and I never looked back.
So, oh, sorry. I didn't mean to ruin your canonical moment.
You think I was afraid, fleeing Brennenburg? Huh. Quite the contrary. I knew it was my purgatory. Hellfire made to wash away my sins. There's no denying the things I've done, but I have paid my tribute. I gave them that awful man. I did the right thing.
Alright, there was the revenge ending where you kill Alexander. Wow. Oh, 2018. They updated this game in 2018 to put their credits on there. Interesting. Alright. Well, you know what? In the first credit sequence, I only gave credit to to Daniel's voice actor. So allow me to, as they go by, whenever that happens, say, good job to the other people too. They did a really good job. The voice acting in this game was really good for a small studio. At least I assume it's small. It looks small. I mean, look, design, 2 people. You would never see that in a AAA game. Graphics, 2 people. Also, great job with the graphics, by the way. Marcus Johansson and Mark Nikander. May not know how to pronounce your names very well, but at least I could give you credit for that. Interesting that you get different credits themes for all the endings. Oh, we're not quite done yet. There's still one more ending I want to get, but I'm waiting for the people to come up. Sam Mowry as Alexander. Great job, Sam Mowry. And everyone else there, I'm not going to go through all your names, probably because I won't be able to pronounce them all in the time that it takes for the credits to go by, but everyone did a great job voicing this game. And they did a great job making it, so... Should I let all these credit sequences play? I might as well. What are they special? Who are they special thanking? Near and Dear for support and patience. Bullfire Games, Angel Code, Devil Image Library, TinyXML, LibSDL, Fmod. As opposed to Gmod. Now I see Ike271. Okay. Since I'm probably going to edit this credit sequence in first, because I started my whole final thoughts on the other one, and I wanted to edit this in a weird way, I should probably mention that I had a weird code on the other one like that. It was TYR299. I have no idea what that's about, but I'm going to write this down just in case I need to. Just in case it unlocks some kind of secret. Alright, let's go for the final ending. Okay, this time I'm going for the good ending, the wiki page says.
I see Agrippa.
Where we actually get Agrippa's head in there in time.
Or evil in Agrippa.
What's so bad about Agrippa now? Why is Agrippa evil? I don't know. I may not fully understand this plot, but I will be replaying this game on my own in the future, and maybe then I'll understand. Can't you do your ritual any faster? I'm waiting. That was when the portal opens. I'm a complete idiot. Let's go.
No, you fool! You have ruined us!
There he is. Do you see him, Vaya? He deserves so much more. Please, help him. I know you can. Don't worry, Daniel. It will be all right.
Alright, I guess we went to heaven. So, that's a good ending. Finally, all 3 endings of the game. I assume there's 3. Let me check. Yes. Oh, after the ending, the words "the end" will appear at the center of the screen along with a short string of letters and numbers at the bottom. Each ending gives you a different string. Assemble the strings in order from Daniel's ending, Alexander's ending, and Agrippa's ending to get the password for the super secret RAR file in the games folder. Well, I'm gonna leave that up to my future self and to you guys watching. If you want to know what's in there, maybe play the game if you haven't already, because this game is really, really good. I shall, at the end of this credit sequence, I shall cut over to my past self that just got the sacrifice ending, let him start his final thoughts on the game, and then after this I'm going to continue with the second half of my final thoughts of the game. This is going to be a weird video to edit, but damn it, I'll figure it out. But yeah, I'm very, very glad that those 3 endings were all, like, which ones you could get were all done in the same room. And that the last save point, and that the game gives you a save point to just go right back into the final room, so you can just do it in the other endings. That is so convenient. Thank you, Frictional, for doing that. And not making me having to replay the entire game to get a different ending. I get that there's those games that have, like, multiple endings and they're decided by actions you do all throughout the game are kind of stressful for me to play, honestly. So I'm so glad that this game's final few endings are done right there in that last room. You do this in the last room to get this ending. You do this in the last room to get this ending. What's my last password? Oh no, I just deleted the other one. Oh no, can I remember it? Well, I have it recorded, it's fine. ODN314. Let's see. I see. What are the other... Did I get Agrippa in? I hope I did. I mean, I clicked on it and said the portal will be open very soon. Did I miss my chance? I think I may have, but I couldn't check my inventory. Well, you know what? Either way, I think I'm happy with that ending. Alexander's gone. No more people are being tortured anymore. And we were gonna die to the shadow anyway, even if we killed him. So, screw it, that's good enough. Maybe I'll go for the other endings in another video. I'm gonna look up what they are and then decide if it's worth it, so sorry about that. Anyway, I finally played Amnesia, so of course I should give my final thoughts on it. I've got a lot of thoughts, but don't worry, very few of them are negative. This game was great. This is a great game. And I think it's held up fairly well since 2011 when it first released. Maybe some things have become dated, maybe some things have become less scary about it, but this was still really, really good. I'm gonna start with the story of the game, because I think that's the most interesting part for me as... Oh, Richard Topping as Daniel. Fantastic job, by the way, Richard Topping. Daniel was the best voice-acted character in this entire game. Like, that was so good, seriously. So the story, on its own, which as far as I can tell is, Alexander misses his love or something and wants to see her again. She's in some hell dimension, she died and is in some hell dimension. And so he has to use the power of an orb to get there, but the orbs have a shadow. The orbs are like some ancient people's things, and they have a shadow that tries to kill whoever goes after them, unless they're lucky, like Agrippa. And so Daniel ended up finding one of these, the end, TYR299. gonna write that down real quick in case that's important for a secret or something. I'm gonna... Okay, so, basically, Daniel ended up just happening upon one of these orbs on a random expedition he was going on for something. Then, the Shadow chased him, started killing everyone, and he sent letters to everyone screaming for help, and then Alexander replied and said, "Hey, come here, I'll protect you." But it was a dupe, and he was actually going to use Daniel as someone who has found the orbs as a sacrifice, so that he could open the portal and achieve his goal. And, you know, everything else in between was like, you know, Daniel arrives, seems normal first, then he's told to torture people, some of whom were supposedly actual people who committed crimes. Like the text descriptions for the torture devices did describe them as being like kidnappers, murderers, whatever. So some of them were probably bad, but there were some innocent people. As you can tell, they went to a farm and they just started killing people there, killing completely innocent people, as well as a few other completely innocent people. And then apparently Alexander just set Daniel on his own against the Shadow. And Daniel was so angered by this that he decided to kill him, but decided to try and forget about the torturing and everything, so he gave himself amnesia, and then that's where you come in as the player, and then you play through the game. That story on its own is decent. I think it's good, but overall I'd say objectively it's decent. I don't know. I don't know how people think of the story of this game. However, I think that the way that it's told in-game makes it a lot more interesting than it otherwise would be. It's the same kind of thing as Half-Life, or more like Black Mesa, as I think Black Mesa makes such huge improvements to the storytelling. I'm going to use Black Mesa as the example. So, story in Half-Life / Black Mesa is alien invasion starts from failed experiment that you were a part of, and the government has sent a military troop to try and clear them up, but also try and kill you to cover it up, to keep Black Mesa contained as a secret facility, in an attempt to anyway. So then you're told with the last few surviving scientists to head to the Lambda complex to try and stop the invasion, to close the portal. On the way, you have to deal with all the military and stuff, and then the military get chased away because the invasion ends up becoming too much. And then you arrive at the Lambda complex with the military now having been dwindled. You arrive there safely and get told by the scientists you have to go to Zen and stop the invasion by killing whoever's keeping the portal open on the other side. That story on its own is nothing crazy, but the way that it's told through gameplay, through the interactive game experience, through, like, everything happens to you. You start the game, you cause the invasion, and then everything, all the consequences of that happen directly to you as you play. Or you watch it happen to someone else, but you're in the same room as them. Which not only helps to immerse you into the game, but it's also just a really good way of telling a otherwise simple story. It's a simple story told in a very effective way. And I think that's exactly what happened with Amnesia here. I think the story itself is pretty good, but it's made even better by how it's told. You know, the amnesia in the title. You start the game after all the stuff with past Daniel happened as current Daniel not remembering anything, which is honestly a great way to incorporate the player in the game. To just start there, you're already in this castle, crap has already went down, you have to find out what crap it was, and how you fit as a part of it. And how the information was slowly leaked, like... I think one of the best things about the story is its opening. The start of the story through whether it's the notes, the diaries, or the flashbacks. The start of it is Daniel's note to himself, where he says, "Go kill Alexander and there's a shadow following you." That is one of the best ways, I think, to open up a story in a horror game. Because before that, you have no context other than you're in a castle. And so, like, you know, you're in a castle and your name is Daniel, but there's like 4 lines of dialogue in the intro. It's saying that your name is Daniel. That's it. And so not only does that note give you your primary objective for the game, and it explains why you're not trying to escape the castle, you're not trying to do something else, so you won't constantly question why Daniel isn't just breaking a window and escaping like every content creator does in whoever plays horror games. You've heard it at some point. You've probably thought it in your head yourself at some point, which, yeah, you know, in a real-life situation you would try to escape a horror thing. escape a horrifying place, but in this game, you're not trying to escape it, you're trying to go kill Alexander. But anyway, not only does it give you your objective, it contextualizes what you're trying to do for the game, but it also, that's how Alexander is introduced. That is the first time you ever hear his name in a note telling you to kill him. So that just brings a ton of intrigue into who he is, what he has to do with you, why you want to kill him. And so you spend the game, like, slowly uncovering things. You hear your conversation with Alexander as you go through the castle, and the whole time we're just speculating what's going on. And I think that's a really good way to get the player involved in a story that's otherwise just kind of simple, that you can't really do, like, with a book or with a movie. It still doesn't 100% explain the monsters. I mean, the monsters are the Gatherers, and the Gatherers are mentioned in exactly one note at the start of the game. Although maybe they're mentioned in another note because I didn't actually get the achievement for collecting every note. So, I missed some notes. Probably one of the things is the big white screen scroll that I missed in the laboratory, but whatever. And you know, the funny part about that is that with as many indie horror games as I've seen, a YouTuber I'm subscribed to, I used to watch all the time, is John Wolf. He plays all kinds of indie horror games, and so I've seen all kinds of indie horror games. I can see this game's mark on those games, because, like, not just waking up with amnesia is something that happens a lot in indie horror games. I guess because they have no better ideas. But also story being told through notes, story being slowly uncovered, no matter what that story may be, no matter exactly how it's uncovered, no matter how information they gave you at the start, I can sense that this game's form of storytelling has influenced basically every other indie horror game to come out after this. And for that, I could say it's very cool to go back to the roots, essentially, of every indie horror game. It's nice to see where they all got their inspirations from. That's about all I could say on that front. I had a few other things to say planned. You know what? While I'm talking about the story, I'm gonna real quick go look up what the other endings are. Let's see if I want to try to get them. Okay, well I just went and did the other endings, so now I can continue my thoughts in the game. So, this is gonna be confusing to edit. For you guys, it's gonna be pretty normal. So, I think I'm gonna continue my thoughts on the storytelling real quick with something that I forgot. I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah. I think this is one of the first horror games to not have that many tangible characters. And by tangible characters, I mean characters you can interact with. There's one. That's Agrippa. And I guess Alexander at the very end there. That's about it though. Other than that, it's just you. It's just you and the monsters. Yeah, like Resident Evil had all your fellow officer members at Resident Evil 1 did, and then a few other characters in Resident Evil 2, a few others in Resident Evil 3. Silent Hill had a bunch of characters you interact with, and even, like, the oldest indie horror game I can think of, White Day. Anyone remember White Day? I'm saying remember as if many people even know about it. Probably most people don't even know what the hell White Day is, but it got a remake recently by a slightly bigger studio, I think, but still a very independent studio. But that's like the oldest indie horror game I can think of, and even that game has a bunch of characters you interact with. Amnesia, on the other hand, it's Daniel and the monsters for the vast majority of the game, and you don't see Agrippa until the final area. The freaking, whatever it's called, I forgot, the nave. And then Alexander is in the very last room of the game. So because of that, that can kind of play into the horror a bit, because it's just you. And it's you against the monsters. There's no one to interact with in the meantime, to calm yourself down with. There's no one supporting you, really. It's just you. That's a part of the horror with this game. And that's a perfect segue into my thoughts on the gameplay. So, this game is infamous for being just like one of the scariest games ever made. It scared a ton of people when it came out, and judging by the fact that only 8.9% of people made it past the second main area, you could tell that a lot of people were too scared to play through this entire game. And what do I think of that? Well, in case you weren't paying attention throughout this playthrough, this game did scare me a few times, but I think the reasons behind why I was scared was slightly different. The main thing I was scared of playing this game was being chased because of how small the environments are. I'm gonna use the basically only other horror game like this I played, Monstrum, as an example. In Monstrum, you get spotted by a monster, and you got this massive ship you can run away from it. Although I do have this, like, burst of fear and panic whenever I do get spotted by a monster, as that's just my instinct when I get spotted by a scary thing in a game that I can't fight. But when I'm out of that panic and I start running, I got a massive ship. I can go anywhere on to lose the thing, and I'm faster than it. And you're faster than the monsters in this game, at least I'm pretty sure. You're faster than the grunts, at least. Maybe not the brutes. But the areas are so small. Where do you run? So, like, I was so scared of being spotted for this reason, because if I got fully chased, where was I supposed to go? Like, back to a loading zone? Sometimes that wasn't an option. Back in this dead end? Well, what if the monster sees me go there, comes around the corner, just slaps me, and as if... slaps me and says, "What the hell are you doing?" I think the monsters might lose you very quickly compared to other games to compensate for that, but still, I've seen many clips where people run to a corner, monster rushes around the corner and slaps them. And I'm sure that would have happened to me if I actually ever ran into a dead end. Thankfully, that never happened, because I only ever got chased like a couple times, and one of them was scripted, and the others, I don't know. They were the weird sections in the chancel where there was that one grunt that spawned, and then the brute afterwards that went into the machine room to tell you why it's now suddenly opened, because you'll need to jam the machine there to access the Inner Sanctum. I was not expecting it to come back out, and so it chased me then. That was basically it. I was able to hide from every other monster, and all I really had to do was just go to another room and hide. And then they left eventually. And now this brings me to my next point. When I discovered in episode 3 and 4, in between there, that every monster in this game was a scripted encounter, that they weren't, like, randomly patrolling the game, like the alien in Alien Isolation, or the monster in Monstrum, or the killer in Dead by Daylight if you really want to count that, or I think the enemies in Outlast also. They patrol the areas, although their areas are very small and they're over and done with pretty quickly, so they're kind of the same thing as the script encounters, but I wasn't expecting, like, you pick up an item, the game spawns a monster, the monster hunts around the area for you, and then it walks off and despawns, and then you're free to go until the next one gets triggered. And I was hoping that they would get a little more unpredictable with those to keep it tense, and I think they kind of did. There were some times where, you know, you'd have a monster encounter, and then another one would spawn immediately, like the brutes in the sewer. That one brute that stands still. I found out that apparently that was intentional. The brute there is supposed to stand still, and you're supposed to pick up a distractor with a rock, or you're supposed to be chased by it or something. However, I think it was somewhat helped by the many moments throughout the game where I expected a monster, but they didn't actually spawn one, like the control room where you fix the, for the bridge, right. Fix the machine for the bridge, which is, seems like a very overly complicated machine just for a bridge that lifts, and I think that note had the right idea that it's way too freaking advanced. I was expecting a monster in there, and they didn't spawn one, and there were plenty of other times throughout the game where you would go long sections without a monster encounter. So, to the point where the next one surprised me. So, you know, they were a little unpredictable sometimes, but I can't help but feel slightly disappointed that they only ever used one monster at a time. They never did two monsters. And that's what I was thinking they were going to do. Not just one monster patrolling an area, but two monsters. From the way the prison area was described to me before I played the game, I thought that there were going to be like 3 grunts going around there. Going around room to room randomly. Even if whether it was a set path, whether it was random. I thought there were going to be like 3 of them. But the game only ever spawned in one monster at a time. And I think that there was potential for more. You could say from a design perspective, they didn't go in as all in on the scares that they could have. But then again, this game does have a hard mode right here. And there's a couple things I know about the hard mode. Firstly, supposedly the monsters' pathing is different. Maybe on hard, the monsters actually, like, search rooms more. I hear at least they stay around longer. I believe also their music that plays when they're nearby doesn't actually play on that mode. So you have no idea, you do know when they spawn because they'll probably growl, but you don't know when they're gone. That's pretty scary. And in a chase, they're faster and stronger. And on top of all that, if you run out of sanity, you actually die. So that's fun. I believe I came very close to running out of sanity in that final chamber, where I bent over on the ground. I believe what happens when you run out of sanity, might as well mention this, is you collapse on the ground, and then you wake back up in the same spot, and it's like nothing happened. So I believe if a monster is spawned at that time, you make a loud noise to attract them. But as I learned, monsters aren't spawned in all the time, so most of the time you run out of sanity, it doesn't actually do anything. But on hard mode, it will actually kill you. Then again, I hear that if you die, which I haven't actually done, I never died throughout the game, which is pretty neat to think. I better pat myself on the back for that one. I feel like everyone who played this game for the first time died, except for me. I'm very proud of myself, but if you die, you just respawn nearby. Like before the game loaded up to the menu, I didn't show it, but it said, like, don't worry about saving the game will take care of that for you. Just immerse yourself in the story and immerse yourself in the game. And I think that death system is exactly what they were trying to do. It just respawns you in the same section you died and lets you try it again. That's basically it. Although, if you used some oil, you don't get it back. You keep your same inventory, so however many tinderboxes or oil you've used since then, you keep it. So even then, hard mode, running out of sanity, causing death doesn't even sound like that terrible of a punishment. But still, it's something interesting I could try again. And plus, there's apparently also developer commentary. I would like to play this game again on my own to hear that. What is effect subtitles? Let me continue my gameplay for a bit, based on, like, the horror of this game and how exactly it managed to scare people. Well, first of all, it was one of the biggest games ever to have a defenseless protagonist. There was the Clock Tower series way back in the day, but how popular was that series? I don't know, it may have been popular, but, like, the SNES game was never released outside Japan, and I don't know about you, I don't hear people talking about the Clock Tower PlayStation game that was released. I saw videos of it. That's about it, and those videos were kinda hidden. I had to go searching for them when I was into Clock Tower back whenever that was. So how popular was that series? I don't really know, but, like, this is probably the biggest game, at least in a while, that had a defenseless protagonist and had no way of, like, you had no ways of doing anything. A monster came, well, better crouch in a corner and just hope you live. But if you crouch in a corner, then your sanity goes down. The sanity is such a cool mechanic because of how much it scares people without really even doing anything. As the developers say in that interview, all that happens with sanity is, like, minor effects in the environment, and when you run out, you collapse on the floor, you make a loud noise. If a monster is spawned, then it hears it, but otherwise you just wake back up. And otherwise, sanity doesn't do anything. It doesn't make you easier to be detected. It's just there to scare you. And you know what? I know that. I knew that going into this game. Despite that, I still felt this urge to try and keep my sanity up and felt kind of nervous when it got low. Just something about it, I don't know. Something about, like, all the noises it makes, the vision blurring, and also it lowers your sensitivity. That's a good enough reason to keep it up high for me, because that would be terrible in a chase, to just suddenly get lower sensitivity. And also just because I have this attachment towards my playable character. I want them to stay alive. I don't want them to go insane. Or it's probably more like getting too scared in the dark. They just call it going insane to scare you, I think. But yeah, that's kind of a genius system. Like, you have a sanity meter. It goes down in the dark. What happens when it runs out? Don't know, but you don't want it. Even though it's actually negligible and doesn't do anything, the game presents it as being a thing that shouldn't happen. And so it instills this fear into you. You're like, I have to keep it up. So how do you keep it up? Well, you have to stay in the light. How do you stay in the light? You use tinderboxes to light up torches on the walls. You go to any lit room. But if you're in a dark room, you have to use the tinderboxes, or you use the lamp to light your way, not only just light up the environment, but also to calm your sanity. But as you use those are limited resources. Oil is a limited resource, tinderboxes are limited resource. You have a ton of these. You have a ton of tinderboxes, and I was getting a ton of oil throughout, like, toward the end of the game. And the sewer section had no dark places at all. It was kind of weird. It's the sewers. You'd think they would be dark. I even said before I entered the sewers, like, this sounds like a dark place. And then it wasn't. It was literally the brightest place in the game. according to the sanity meter. But anyway, in order to keep your sanity up and prevent yourself from going insane and enduring the consequences of whatever happens, you use the resources to stay in the light. But if you use the resources to stay in the light, you allow monsters to see you easier. At least I think so. It kind of makes sense that if you're making light, the monsters would see it and they would come after you. So, pick your poison. Keep your sanity up, but have to run away from monsters, or hide from monsters, but your sanity goes down. And as it turns out, the second option is the infinitely better choice because sanity doesn't actually do much of anything, but the fact that it's there to scare you and that, like, you know, you turn off your light in the dark with a monster outside the room, and you think, yeah, I'm safe, but there's an extra fear because your sanity is dropping, and you wonder if you should turn on the lamp, you should keep it on, but now the monster's seen you, and it's just... that kind of stuff combined together must have been the freaking scariest thing back in the day. Nowadays, I'd say it's not the scariest game I've ever played. I'm not gonna call it that, but I mean, you guys saw it in the playthrough. I should reiterate, you guys saw in the playthrough, I did get scared at a couple times, and mostly because, like, in the intro sections, I thought that there were monsters there when there actually weren't. And that's the kind of stuff, like, the game's ambience is really good, too. The weird groans in the distance and the footstep sounds that make you think something's there, but it actually isn't. And you know, I was hiding... I went up to a door in the prison, some growling sound came from it, some banging happened on it, I got a sanity warp effect thing, and so I went in and hid in the nearest room because I thought that there was a grunt coming out of it, and I heard footsteps in the hallway, and I thought, that's a grunt. You could even hear me say it out loud, like, something's out. Nothing was there. And the fact that the game was able to do that is awesome. Even, like, after all these years, 10 years later. The game was able to make me think that something was there, but there actually wasn't. This game still has a lot of good things about its horror. Its horror holds up pretty well. Probably not as good as back then. I mean, if I played it when it came out, I would have been 6 years old. So, around there, this would have scarred me forever. Fun fact, my introduction to the horror genre of anything was Slender the 8 Pages. I'm not kidding, but I don't remember what I was talking about, but you get my point. Basically, the whole sanity system combined with monsters is genius, and that was probably the biggest reason why so many people were scared of this game. And I think it still works, because I'm gonna say this again. I knew that sanity didn't do anything going in, but I still didn't want it to drop. It's one of those things where you don't want it to get too low. You do want to keep it up. Because, you know, as you stay in the dark, you hear that teeth grinding sound get more intense, you hear, like, whispers, weird whispers and things, your vision gets so warped, you can tell something's going wrong and you want to fix it. And so because of that whole system still kind of worked on me in a few places, because... you know, when that first grunt appeared in storage, and I hid the lantern away, I was like, I can't be here too long, though. I can't be here too long. It has to go, or I'm gonna run out of sanity. I don't think I said that out loud, but I was thinking that in my head. So, yeah. Freaking wonderful idea with the sanity system. Trying to scare players with things that aren't actually there. But hey, at least now that you know that the sanity system doesn't do anything and that every monster is a scripted encounter that is very easily won, playing this game shouldn't be that bad anymore, right? Yeah, I assume if I replay this game, it's not going to be scary anymore, because now I know the stuff in the intro is not actually a monster. Although some of those stuff may be actual monsters you can go and grab. If you just stay away from them, you're fine. They're not going to come kill you. I believe, fun fact about this game, I read once, I hear that in the archives, where you hear the grunt go away for the first time, there's a section in that room where you can go up to a pile of rubble, and then you have a hallucination of a grunt running up to you, and then it poofs. If I encountered that, that would have been just the scariest freaking thing. I almost wish that I did, because my reaction to that would have been crazy, but I didn't. I'll try and see if I can find that in my next playthrough that I'm not doing on camera. Sorry about that. Anyway, continuing gameplay. The horror in this game is great and still holds up well. That's my conclusion. I'm going to continue gameplay because I was quite impressed with the puzzles. I thought it was very interesting how you picked up a bunch of items over the course of the game. You would use them on one puzzle, and then you would use them again later on a different puzzle, like the Hollow Needle. You pick that up as a form of the key for the door in the water monster section. Might talk about that later. And then it isn't until all the way through the next 3 areas where you're in the cistern entrance and you're trying to figure out how to get into the sewers. And you pick up a copper tube, nothing else is in the morgue. And then you realize, oh, I have this Hollow Needle. Can it go on? I believe its description was also strong surgical needle, and then you combine them together and make the syringe. Like, that is one of the parts. I felt very smart figuring that out. And I also felt very smart figuring out how to throw a rock at a rusty chain to get a bridge to fall. You think you'd use an item there. Nope, you pick up a thing and throw it. And then you use that in the cistern entrance to fix the right side bridge, the east side bridge, after it breaks the second time. That is a very clever setup. Like, you know, you fix the thing in the control room, and then you go back out, it breaks again, go into the cistern, and there's a puzzle there where you have to throw a rock at a rusty chain to drop a bridge. The game's showing you that so that you use it again to be able to access the morgue. That is just such a clever idea. Such a clever design for the puzzles. And about that freaking control room, why the hell did the game count the puzzle as cleared when the 4th pipe wasn't on there? As I was putting it together, I thought, oh, there's a 4th pipe, I guess. And then I put the 3rd one on and it finished despite there being 2 open holes. What was up with that? Was that a bug or is that intentional? I don't know. Alright. 47 minutes, I better wrap up my thoughts. How about that water monster? Wasn't the most intensive encounters, but I am very surprised to see that section at the beginning and a very minor encounter in the cistern are the only times you ever have to deal with the water monster. I was very surprised to see that. I thought there would be a second bigger section with it, but turns out no, the only section with the water monster in this game is that one at the start. And I guess I should have known that it would be the first encounter because the freaking... In Spooky's Jump Scare Mansion, the final area is a parody on Amnesia. Every area in that game is a parody on a horror game. The final one is about Amnesia. And they use the water monster as the monster there, so... And it makes sense now, knowing that it's actually the first monster you encounter in the tangible way that it can kill you in this entire game. You don't actually encounter a grunt until after. But, you know, I might echo John Wolfe's opinion on water monsters in games, because there have been water monsters since Amnesia. Again, another way this game has influenced indie horror games. They're not the greatest monsters for a horror game. I mean, they're just not that scary. That guy was not that scary. The only reason I said, like, oh crap at the beginning and jumped out of the box is where I wasn't expecting it. And that was part of the I didn't expect this reaction. And also the I should probably get out of the water right now reaction combined together into that. But it wasn't actually that scary. I mean, yeah, it came up to me and it hit me. It came right in front of my face. And during those moments, I was like, oh, but I would have had that reaction with anything. You could have put a briefcase in the water, and if it floated at you, I'd have been like, oh. So yeah, water monster was probably the least scary thing about this game. And then, I don't know, was it even in the cistern? Was that another case of the game actually, like, faking a monster there to scare me? I swear I heard a second set of splashes, and I heard its growl. But, like, I never actually saw it. I just saw, like, the one splash that happens as an ambient effect. And then I swear I heard it. I never saw it. It was that's weird. Another way the game has spooked me, I guess, but they tried to spook me with the least scary monster, so it didn't really work. Alright. I'm closing in on 2 hours. And a whopping 30 minutes of that, over 30 minutes, was dedicated to my final thoughts. I gotta wrap up here. I don't know how long this video is gonna be when it's edited, but yeah. This was my playthrough of Amnesia: The Dark Descent. I do hope you enjoyed. I especially hope that you enjoyed, the one person who's been watching and leaving a like on every video and who commented on episode 4. I see you. If you made it this far in the video, comment down below apples. Or place apples if you're gonna comment. Because, yeah. It's weird to think that, back in episode 4, that one encounter, that you had never seen that encounter, but I did. It seemed like a very random encounter, like I was just going back to where I started and then a grunt came out of nowhere. If that's an encounter that randomly happens, I guess the encounters are randomized, maybe? I'm not sure. I'll find out on my second playthrough, but in the meantime, I have to end this video. Sorry. Yeah, alright. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this channel after this, but I guess I'll just go back to Dead by Daylight. I have 2 Dead by Daylight videos currently waiting to be edited, and I'm gonna get on those. So, feel free to check out my other stuff if you've watched this playthrough and have any interest in checking out my other stuff. I played through Black Mesa, I played through Terraria, and I played through Half-Life 2 and Half-Life, but those are old playthroughs and I don't recommend you go check them out. Aside from that, I haven't played much. So, I should probably keep going. But I've been playing Dead by Daylight lately, and Dead by Daylight is a ton of fun to play on this channel, so I hope you enjoy that if you watch that. So, that is all. Thank you all for watching this playthrough and this video, if you did watch. And as always, I will see you all in the future.